want to look at me.
Now that is how you start a live session.
That was perfect. Perfect.
And now we play the waiting game.
Yes, let's see who
Well, we do that
joins the
thing where we
room.
all be useful and share the shit out of it.
Oh, right,
Oh,
we
yeah.
gotta share this.
I gotta do that too. Hold on.
Okay, let's all share it. Just get that out of the way. And done. Let's see if we get some viewers.
Oh my god, the thumbnail is this of just me covering up.
Amazing.
If only everything you did looked like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Let's just make sure that it's
Just do all my work meetings like that.
Okay, weird. I can't see the video, but okay, we have viewers. Yay!
Yay!
Yay! All right.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome. It is our top 10 of 2021 special with my cat as a guest. Yeah, he's holding on to me like a koala bear. Yeah, so how's everyone doing?
Surviving.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't had a plague yet.
Right. Oh.
Sorry, I'm trying to share it, but I can see myself looking at my phone, looking at the thing.
The joys of life.
Which really ultimately just looks like you're staring at your own genitals right now. You're like, yeah.
I'd have to get a lot closer to see him.
Yeah.
That's my boy.
Booyakasha.
This is off to a fantastic start.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
To answer your question, I'm doing well.
I'm glad to hear it. It's been a while since I've seen you guys, and it's been a while since we've done any live content. A good couple of weeks. But yeah, it's good to be back and share our top 10s. I'm excited to see what you guys picked, and we can discuss, and anybody watching can share their top 10s or their opinions on the albums we've chosen. Can participate as much as you want. Maybe we'll throw you on the camera if we feel like it. We'll see. But yeah, so I'm Liz. I'm the founder of Bucketlist Entertainment. Guys, do you want to do a little intro?
Okay,
Yes.
we're going clockwise?
Yeah, we can go
Big
clock.
time.
Okay. We'll go to...
Okay. Hi, I'm Chris. I am a host of Sewer Spewer on CJLO 1690 AM. And I also sing in a shitty punk band called Gutser.
Woo.
Holy
There we
shit.
go. My name is Justin. I don't host a radio show. I also sing in a shitty band called Swayze.
There is nothing shitty about Swayze, and I refuse to hear you call it that.
And let's pass it over to Jace.
Oh, God.
Just like we practiced.
Rub myself with it. I'm Jason. I'm just a piece of shit. I don't even know why I'm here. Somebody found me off the street and offered me $20. That
It
is
looked
not
better.
This is where Liz beats me with a belt.
You guys are getting paid?
I have been with Bucketlist since day 2. I'm not in any official bands, but I do some singing stuff. If you're in the Montreal area, come and check out Emo Night at Fufuns.
Woo.
You do some pretty good singing stuff.
When's the next emo night?
Next Emo Night is at January 8th, which is a Saturday. And you should also come with a lot of money because a certain somebody's going to be selling T-shirts again, and I'm super excited about it. I wonder who that certain somebody is, Liz. Do you want to tell us who that certain somebody is?
Yes, I do want to tell you who that certain somebody is.
I bet it's Liz.
Spoilers!
Ruin the fucking surprise!
I have cat fur in my mouth. Yes, I will be selling my Sad Foods line at. I'd say that because it's the stupidest thing I've ever drawn, but people seem to like them, which is nice. They do. And I'm going to be selling my Sad Foods line pretty much at every emo night now going forward, and I'll sell a different design every time. So come, so you can grab one. Otherwise, you'll have to order online and pay for shipping. No matter where you live, I don't care. You're paying for shipping, and I'm shipping it to you.
Bitches.
Yes. But LizArt_designs, which is my social, it'll be tagged in the YouTube video that will be posted tomorrow, the recording version of this live video, if you guys are interested. And I'll tag all of your side projects as well, so people can see where to find you guys.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could tag a cardboard box on the side of a street, but cool, throw me in it.
Yeah.
That joke will never get old, and I don't give a shit.
Anywho, we're here to present our top 10s. Exciting times. This was for me, I don't know about you guys, but for me, this was a very easy year to pick because so many good releases happened this year compared to last year. 2020 was a dull year for music, in my opinion.
I had trouble remembering what came out this year and what came out last year.
Okay.
Other than that, there was a lot of good stuff, but yeah, there was probably 5 albums I had on my list that came out a year earlier than I thought.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I had that same trouble. It was I only had the 2 that really like tripped me up, and then it was like, well, fuck, I got to fill those spots. So I kept started looking for shit, and then I realized like I really wasn't that happy with the other things that came out this year. So my top half is stacked as shit, and then my bottom half, like in real life, is a little lackluster. But I'm still happy with everything I picked out.
So, Chris, did you have like a good list last year and confuse it with this year as well?
No, I usually keep like a very exhaustive list of everything that's come out like in the year, because I know like by the end of the year I'll have to be making a list like this. So I keep a list of everything that has come out, but I still like panic listen to everything in November because like, wait a second, did I listen to anything that I don't like anymore, or is there anything that like flew under my radar?
It's funny because I usually do that. I'm very organized with this, but this year I completely fucked up. I just happened to come across some new releases that I've listened to religiously. That's how I calculate my top 10. It has to be based on whether or not I would listen to this album over and over and over and over and over again. Not because that's just me. Everybody bases their lists on for different reasons, but that's for me. And it just happened this year where there was so many releases coming out where I was like, oh my God, this is so good. Oh my God, this is so good. And then it just kind of happened. But yeah, usually I keep a list from the very beginning of the year to prepare myself for the end of the year. And I did not do that. So I did get stuck with 2 missing slots this week. I'm like, oh my God, I have 2 slots that I don't know what to put on there. And I figured it out. So yeah, I'm good. But yeah,
I wasn't going to put you on blast, but for the people that don't know, Liz and I spend all day, every day together. And when she said it was super easy, I was like, but no, it wasn't.
Only 2 slots though. The rest were like 2. Because usually, again, I forget, so I have to put like Chris does. I have to put my list from the beginning of the year, start my list, and yeah. So, but whatever. We're gonna share that with you guys tonight, and please participate in the comments. Once again, if you feel like joining us on camera, you can, because it's our last episode of the year, so it is kind of a special one, and we can discuss what you think. If you think our lists are shit, or if you have something that you want to share with us, you are welcome to join us. And yeah, so. We're going to do like a roll call or something on who goes first.
So I came prepared.
Jason has the technology.
Little spinny wheel app that you can see perfectly because technology. And on there, we've got Justin, we've got Chris, we've got Liz, and we have Bitch. And whoever gets spun on is going to be the first one. And there you go. 10, 9, 8, 7, blah, 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 blah. But clockwise.
I'd just like to say...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Justin.
No, I'd just like to say it's very impressive you spelled all our names right. A lot of letters in there to get fucked up.
We're gonna say one number at a time too. So like we'll all say our 10, we'll all say our 9, and take turns on that. So yeah.
We gonna drag this bitch out till we fucking dead.
Yeah. Okay, go.
All right.
Give it a
Look-
spin,
look at
baby.
Spinning wheel. I can't see if we can see the spinning wheel. All right.
We can
there
see
go.
it.
See it.
We
Ready?
Big
And
money.
your giant finger.
Don't.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
it's me.
Ah!
Hey.
Of course, the boss lady goes first.
All right. Okay.
Rigged.
So number 10 is Dead Poet Society. I can't pronounce the album title. Yeah, but this album is solid. I remember it was one of the first. It came out, I think, in February of this year. I have to double check that, but they're from Toronto. My girl Sarah over at Looters introduced them to me. She's like, I think you're gonna really like this band. They've got that stoner, bluesy, rock and roll kind of vibe, and the singer has a phenomenal voice. He's very, very good. He's gone to, I think he went to Berkeley as well. And we interviewed him actually on one of our live Q&As. It was myself. Was it me that interviewed him? My God, my brain. Or was it? It was me. Yes. And it was a while ago. Actually, it was roughly around when the album came out. So it was pretty cool. If you guys want to check it out on our YouTube channel at Bucketlist TV, and you want to watch that and get to know him a little bit more. But that's my number 10. And
Oh, now it's my
Chrissy.
turn. All right.
Chris.
Awesome.
I'll just take over here. Okay, so my number 10 is SHI, which stands for Struggling Harsh Immortals with 4 Death, which is, I guess you could kind of figure out that it's a Japanese hardcore band. This was like a last minute addition because the album that I used to have in my top 10, I re-listened to it and realized I didn't like it as much as I thought I did at the beginning of the year. And that I only really like one song and the rest is kind of like mediocre.
Oh.
And so like I just like re-listened to this one and like remembered how much I liked it the first time I listened to it, like earlier in the year. So I decided to put this on. This is a band that's fronted by a guy called Cherry Nishida, and he's from this legendary Japanese punk band called Zuo, which was very prominent in like the 80s. But like with SHI or Struggling Harsh Immortals, it's kind of like a blend of like new and old because you have like that 80s like Japanese hardcore, but you also have like industrial and noise. So it's kind of like, yeah, old meets new.
Very cool.
Can I
That
just
is
put a bet out
intriguing.
really quickly before we continue? I'm going to bet right now that I will not know a single fucking band on Chris's list. Not
That's what
one.
I said. But no, there's a few on there that I actually know, and I think there will be for you too.
Ugh,
Yeah.
I'm going to lose my bet then. J1.
Hey!
Moving on to me. My number 10 was a band called We Are the Union, and they put out an album this year called Ordinary Life. It's just a really fun ska punk album.
Ooh.
I'd say the last 2 years have been the most into ska I've been since I was in high school because I just need something happy to happen. That sounded worse than it is. You know what I mean. I like to skank in the living room. It's a good time. Their vocalist Reed came out as trans this year, so this is kind of her coming out album.
Amazing.
So that was interesting in that regard too. I'm not super familiar with anything earlier than maybe the album before this one, but it was interesting to hear it from that perspective too.
Nice.
It's a really fun record too. I've listened to it.
It is.
Cool.
It's catchy as fuck.
I'll give it a listen. Yeah, I haven't heard of them, so that sounds awesome.
I mean, just for the fact that ooh,
Good catch.
sorry. Just for the fact that that Chris likes it, I think I'm just gonna have to give it a pass, but we'll see.
Oh,
Fair.
So my number 10 is dorky as fuck. It is like the most out of the box, I think, out of the rest of my list, and it's like a diversity hire. The Spill Canvas with Conduit. I have not listened to this band since the early 2000s when they were emo as And
Are
yeah, I
they
listened
not
to-
anymore?
They are still sufficiently emo. There's enough songs talking about killing
Okay.
yourself and people dying and shit.
Oh my god.
Which is all I need ever about anything. But yeah, I got some notes of like Jesus-y stuff, and I was sort of worried to put it on my list because I'm like, why do I have a feeling there's a scandal I didn't hear about with these guys? But there wasn't, I think. If there was, put it in the comments so I can be canceled. No, it was just honestly, I started listening to it one night, sleeping upon Liz's couch as we were trying to survive lockdown here in Montreal, chasing around a three-legged cat in her apartment, trying not to have a heart attack. And it was fucking incredibly catchy record. There's some really, really, really fun tunes on there. Hello, good master.
Oh, there he is.
And yeah, it stuck with me. So when the year end came around, I was like, yeah, I'll give it a little tip of that.
Just like you're a 14-year-old girl again.
Oh, when did I ever stop? Your Majesty.
Okay. All right.
I just did something stupid there.
So number 9 is my boys from Denver, Khemmis. This is an obvious one.
Not even
I
a
love
surprise.
these guys. They pretty much make it to all my lists every year because they keep releasing music, which is great. They stick to their style. The stoner, doomy, rock, black metal-y. Like they have a little black metal on this record, which is really cool. But they're very, I call them nerd metal because they sing about fantasy shit and really cool stuff. And they are dorks just like me, so they're the nicest guys ever. And I will always support them no matter what. But they just keep releasing phenomenal music. They're ridiculously talented, and yeah. But
They just keep rolling 20 every record, which is a
They're what?
20
Yeah.
fucking time.
What was that?
It was a D&D joke.
Oh, I know, but I didn't hear at all what you said.
I said they just keep rolling a nat 20 every single record.
Right. Yeah, they're just awesome. But if you
Very
guys haven't
talented.
heard of them, check them out. They always play little shows, and they're doing well. I think that they're going to become the next Mastodon. Honestly, it's going to take a bit, but like they're going to become as huge as them. I think.
I didn't know they put out an album this year. I'll have to look at that one.
Oh,
Recently,
yeah.
very recently. Actually,
Came out
about
recently,
15
right? Like
days
last month,
after
right?
the record
Yep.
came out.
Very recent.
Okay.
They released a single here and there, but the album officially was recent.
I mean, the single was as long as most people's records, but yeah.
That's true. Okay, my
Pushing the
turn.
Chris button.
All right, so my number nine is Pupil Slicer with Mirrors.
I can't with that name. I fucking love it so much.
What, Pupil Slicer?
Yes.
Just imagine like an eyeball getting cut like every time.
I love it.
Some good old
It's just such a
eyeball gore.
standard thing. Like random body part, violent act.
Yeah.
Oh,
What
man.
more do you need?
This is the debut album of a mathcore band from the UK. They just try a lot of interesting stuff on this. Like there's times where it goes glitchy, sometimes where it goes like ambient, but they're still screaming over it. I think they really remind me of like a young Converge, like when Converge was like just starting out. And I mean, this makes sense because I think they did like a live stream concert for Knotfest, and they actually covered Converge for that. So it's obvious where that inspiration is coming from. But I really like what they're doing on this album, and I'm very excited to see where they go from there.
Nice.
I had to look into that.
Like, where are they from? Like, is this their first record? Like, do they have?
I think they're from London, UK.
Nice.
And I've never heard of them before this year. I think they're really new. But I mean, they started off with a banger, so where did they go from here?
Yeah. Let's, I'm gonna keep an eye out for these guys. I'll give them a listen because that sounds actually really good. And I love the name.
That sounds up my alley.
Right? Yeah. And point down to the must. There we go.
My number 9 is Sincere Engineer, Bless My Psyche. It's a really good pop punk verging on emo project. This is the first album they put out since, I think, 2017. And I wrote the name down, but I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Rhombithian. Rhombithian. I don't know. Doesn't matter. That album rips. This album also rips. It's got uppers, it's got downers. She's a very talented singer-songwriter, and it's just incredibly catchy, and songs from it get stuck in my head pretty often.
Nice. That's what makes a top 10. You know?
Yeah, dude. I saw her at Pooza a couple of years ago.
Nice.
And it was fucking dope.
I probably saw her too. Like, there's so many bands at Pooza that you see that it's hard to like keep up, and there's such good shit there.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, can't wait to have that motherfucker back. That's for fucking sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Pretty sure Justin's given up on the joke here, so I'm just gonna have to not do the whole thing that I choreographed.
Oh shit, my bad.
I was thinking about it the whole time. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be super exaggerated. I'll be awesome. People will.
Well, fuck, you're staring at me, and I was like, I don't have much else to say. This is just a cool album.
We're trying to do the Brady Bunch thing.
Yeah, I know. I'll remember next time.
Okay.
You gotta keep it going, bro. All right, my number 9. Not surprising in any way, shape, or form. This is actually a bit of a last-minute edition, but of Mice and Men's most recent record, which came out like not even a week ago. Echo. Fantastic record. It's a lot of Mice and Men going back to a little bit of their old sound while still having the prowess of the current lineup and the sound of the current lineup. For the most part, the record does have like not necessarily duds, but it's kind of interchangeable, a lot of the songs, until some pretty specific parts. Fighting Gravity did it for me. That was just when I was like, fuck it, throw it on there. I have a space missing. But great record if you enjoy metalcore, which none of you do. Listen to it.
No, we all came out of high school already.
Yeah, you can suck my balls.
Who sings for that band now?
Flip that bitch up to the lizard.
Jason, who sings for Of Mice and Men now?
Aaron, God damn it, I want to say Aaron Colley or something like that. He was the bass player when Austin Carlisle was the singer. And
I have trouble keeping track of that band.
Yeah. They've had more lineup changes than I've changed underwear this year, which is a low bar, but nonetheless.
Are we gonna do the like?
I already. Well, I could just like kind of punch it up there and then.
Hey, why would you punch me though?
That's a dick move.
Break the wall so you can take it.
Okay. All right.
It's not a wall when it's above you. It's a ceiling.
Man, fuck you.
Number 8. We're at number 8 now. So number 8, I've gone with John.
Hell yeah.
Who lost Things 3 Alive After Death. So he is the king of all things horror scores. This album actually, and I didn't even type it properly. I should capitalize the C, but this album literally, like all his others, he's the king of synthwave. Literally brought to my eyes. Vampire's Kiss. I think that's my favorite track on the album. And I made Jason hear it today. I'm like, I know this is not your jam, but like, just listen to how gorgeous this track is. Like,
Let's make a quick correction. She made me drop what I was doing right in that second to listen to that song.
It's such a beautiful album. Chris, are you a fan of John Carpenter stuff?
Oh, I love John Carpenter stuff.
Nice.
I mean, I don't think I've actually listened to this album, but I could already like figure out like what it sounds like.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. I don't know how he does it. I was so bummed that I had to miss him when he was here last. So I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. He played at Olympia. I can't remember. Yeah. So bummed because I sent the team to go and review it, but I couldn't go. I don't remember why. I think I had to work. And he is just incredible.
I think his sons do most of the work though when they play live, and he's just like standing there. Sometimes plays the keys, but he's just like vibing while his sons just like do
I
all
didn't
the
know that.
instrumentation.
Oh my god, I had no idea.
That sounds very Genesis.
He's just there for the authenticity.
Okay, come on. Genesis was great, first of all.
Genesis was fantastic, but that's exactly what happened.
Well, hello, Phil Collins can't walk. And
Oh.
No excuses.
Wait, this way.
to Chris. All right.
Okay. My number 8 is Filth is Eternal with their album Love is a Lie, Filth is Eternal. This band used to be called Fucked and Bound. It was one of the last bands that I saw before the pandemic hit in Montreal. Mm-hmm. And just seeing them live was an experience because the singer, Lisa Mungo, who's also in Daughters, she has like this wild, raw energy. And like she's like jumping all over the stage and like running across the room, like flashing everybody. Like she just doesn't give a fuck. And you can really like hear that energy on this album. It's very short, but like as you can imagine, very filthy. And it's really like a reintroduction to the band because they're kind of like reinventing themselves here because they have a new name and therefore, but I mean, I still feel like they're very much like how they used to be, just slightly different.
Okay. I love Daughters, so that sounds pretty good actually. So
even after all the controversy that you heard, or did you hear about Daughters? Okay, we'll get into that later. There's been some controversy about Daughters that might make you very sad. But
yeah, we won't bring that up.
I love Daughters. Why?
It's a major
I saw them
bummer.
last when they were here. They were incredible, but let's talk about that after.
Okay.
That said, I love a short album more than anything in the world.
Oh.
So I will be checking that out because I have the attention span of a goldfish. My number 8, I'm not going to spend too much time on it because it's going to be talked about again. Silk Sonic, An Evening with Silk Sonic, Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. It's just a really fun, throwbacky, funky R&B album. It's got Bootsy Collins and Thundercat featuring on it. I don't know what more you need. It's just really interesting to see those two kind of push one another. I've never been the biggest Bruno Mars fan, but I do like Anderson .Paak a fair amount, and hearing Bruno Mars on this makes me want to give him more of a shot.
He's fantastic, Bruno Mars, honestly. I was on the same page as you, and his voice is just incredible. And
yeah,
we just saw Thundercat last week, and
fuck you.
Oh, so good. So good.
Just move here, man. We'll go to all the shows together.
Yes.
Jason, do you need a drink?
I just okay, we're cool.
Just like we rehearsed.
And that's how the video got shut down because I before I go with mine, I just crammed Silk Sonic in my ears the other day, and it's fucking awesome.
It lives up to its name.
Smooth as peanut butter, motherfucker. Mine is slightly less smooth. My number 8 is the very triumphant return of No Bragging Rights, which is a SoCal hardcore band that I have loved for as long as I've known that they existed, which isn't that long. Killer record. It's awesome to see them come back after, I think it was 7 years since they last put out a record. So for a band of that level to take that much time off and to come back and to really kind of fucking nail it, especially like their last record was a bit of a flop critically, even though, you know, I enjoyed some tunes off of it. They really came back and they hit the nail, the fucking nail on the head. So super stoked about it. Really great songs. Great message as usual. You know, dorky fucking metalcore stuff. That's what I do.
I saw them in a hall in Saskatoon once. And like a supportive man, I was drinking beer in the parking lot when their set started. And I walked inside to hear the singer giving his like scene speech. And he's like, if you guys don't know this fucking song, you can get right the fuck out. I'm like,
does not
what
sound like
is
a bragging rights at all.
happening? And then they played a Bon Jovi song.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like,
that
okay.
makes sense.
Which
Well, I
song
didn't
did they
expect
play?
this.
Yeah.
I think it was
It
Living
would've
on a
been, You
Prayer.
Could Love a Bad Name, probably. Or no, Living
Oh,
on
it
a
might have
Prayer?
been that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But yeah, I walked into a weird vibe.
Yeah. Yeah. That must
memorable
have been a long
vibe.
time ago.
It wasn't a short time ago.
No, definitely wasn't.
Awesome.
Definitely wasn't. But with that being said, don't serve that on a platter up top.
Okay. Number 7. So I got the same voice.
Double.
Real original.
Back to back.
Yeah, they're just incredible. I've already said what I had to say. Love this record. I was so happy. I am always excited when Anderson .Paak releases anything. Because yeah, like you, Justin, I'm much bigger fan of his. But Bruno definitely impressed me on this one. But he's talented. You can't escape it.
He adds so much to that album.
Oh yeah, it's a gorgeous album, super funky, and I was really excited about this one. So that is it. I will go to Chris.
Good catch.
We're much better.
All
at
right.
this.
All right.
Yeah.
My number 7. It might be controversial, but my number 7 is Turnstile.
Ooh.
Blow On.
Mm.
There's a band I know.
I just want to quote a former Bucketlist writer, Ted, who described Turnstile as 311 meets youth of today, which I find very hilarious. But I really like this album just because, they're going for this kind of very dreamy kind of hardcore on it. And, it still goes aggressive and hard at times, but there's just this very positive feeling. And I'm always smiling ear to ear every time I listen to this album. And I personally think that Turnstile is single-handedly evolving hardcore with this record because, I feel it's kind of the same with what Code Orange did last year with their release. But I feel Turnstile is kind of pushing hardcore more towards the mainstream. And I feel a lot more people who have never really listened to hardcore might be picking this up. And that might be a gateway to other hardcore. So I definitely commend them on that.
Very
It
cool.
was definitely the weirdest thing to ever be labeled hardcore I've ever put in my ears.
Yeah.
No questions asked. But on that same point, they're basically doing what Linkin Park did for a lot of metal a long time ago, where they're making something a lot more digestible for people, in my opinion. And then eventually warp them.
I will say I've tried to get into that album a lot of times, and something just doesn't click.
Couldn't do it either.
I love that song "Mystery."
Yeah.
And then I think because I love that song so much, the rest of it kind of dwindled. I don't know.
Yeah, I felt kind of that way the first time I listened to it, and then a friend of mine put it on while he was driving in the car, and I was just in the back seat raging, and he was raging. It was just a fun time speeding down the highway, and I was like, oh, this is actually a great album. I'm having fun listening to this album.
So I gotta hit the mood right.
Yeah, exactly.
I think Liz and I are going to end up listening to it in tandem tomorrow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it won't be the last time I try it.
Oh, the love.
Birthing. The birthing of Justin's turn.
Ooh, okay. Oliver wants to go.
My number 8. Gucci Mane.
Whoa.
Ice Daddy. This is just a really fun Atlanta hip hop album.
Nice.
I find a lot of Gucci Mane albums to be really bloated, and this one kind of toes that line. It's nearly an hour, but most of that hour is a lot of fun. There's some cool features, E40s on a song, and Project Pat and Sir Motherfucking Mix-a-Lot, and I don't know, it's just really fun and gets me in a good mood.
Nice. I'm
I
gonna
don't
check it
know.
out. all your choices like sound so good. All of you guys, like I'm learning, except for Jason. I'm learning
Yeah.
some good releases here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not the most deep album in the world, but it was one of my most played for the whole year. It's just
You
very
need to tell
fun.
me that an album titled Ice Daddy doesn't have substance to it.
Okay, let me stop you here because it's his child's name is Ice. So slow your roll.
So it's literally, hi, I'm Gucci Mane. My child's name is Ice. I am his daddy.
Yeah. What more? What more do you want, bro? Nothing. That's what more. All right, tell us about some more breakdowns or something.
All right. I have less breakdowns on my next one, but I'm still super happy with it. And I hope Justin loves me a little bit more. But like this new record, Control My Sanity, is fucking awesome. I was looking forward to this since fucking last year when they dropped like just a random single with Andrew Neufeld from Comeback Kid.
Comeback Kid.
Another album that I really wish came out sooner, but didn't.
Wait, did Comeback Kid have an album come out?
Oh, they have an album coming out. It's
okay.
They've got 3 tracks dropped already.
I've heard the singles. I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going. This is like more hardcore than they've gone in a while. Yeah. So they dropped that song, and I'm like, okay, sick. So another record's coming, and it never came until now. Awesome record. Unfortunately, that Hands Tied isn't on it for some reason. I find that super strange.
That is weird.
I kind of hate when bands do that, when they release like a banger fucking tune and then they never put it on a record, because we grumpy fucks still like listening to records in their entirety. But whatever, internet.
Fuck me, I guess.
You know, it doesn't have as much boppiness to it as their last record did, but there is definitely a lot more creativity, and a little more maturity, and a little more diversity in their sound on this one, I find.
Okay.
So yeah, if you're digging the pop punk thing, but with a little bit of like a dad edge to it, go and give this record a listen. It's fucking awesome. I tried putting it on Liz, and 1 second she was like, "Okay, I don't mind this," and then the next she was like, "I fucking hate this." So
Yeah. I can't tolerate this. I don't like the voice.
Yeah, I could see that. It's
Yeah.
definitely old man punk.
Yeah, and but that's it. You know what I mean? I like old man punk. It's punk for me.
But it's not though. It's not old man punk. It's like
It's the closest thing to old
singer-
man punk as this scene today makes. You know?
yeah.
It's like stepdad punk.
Yeah. It's like younger. Like my mom married a younger guy, dad shit. Yeah,
All right.
my mom did marry the guy who used to mow her lawn. My name's also not Stacy. Anyway.
I was wondering how are you going to make that happen?
Didn't even catch it in time.
What?
You can't see her hands. She might have caught it off screen.
Yeah, maybe.
You went like this.
Yeah, I did like a little lasso up there.
Like, how are we supposed to catch that? Throw it again.
Being good at sports.
You're not good at sports.
I'm fucking not.
Okay. Next. We're at number 6. We're almost there. We're almost halfway. So number 6 for me is the Rivers of Nile, The Work record. Which
Of course.
obviously, yeah, not
I'm actually
surprising at
surprised
all.
this is as far down your list as it is.
What?
I would have expected this one to be way higher up on the numbers.
I am not doing this in order. So yeah, because I just couldn't decide in that case. But no, this album is obviously a work of art. Like all their other music, they just ring out the sax. This one was a little bit more on the compared to the last album. This one, in my opinion, had a little bit more of like a Pink Floyd influence, because it was very psychedelic in a lot of ways, very, very ambient and spacey and just perfect. And then it's just perfect. And I know I'm not the only one that has this on the list. So yeah, I just love these guys so much, and I was really sad that their show got canceled here because I was really looking forward to seeing them.
Oh, that would have been a cool one.
I was bummed. Yeah, Black Dahlia Murder and them and
Yeah.
Carnifex. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Carnifex
Yeah.
and all kinds of just silly heavy bands all night.
Yeah, but hopefully soon we'll get to see them again, and hopefully with their saxophone player, because that I don't think
That
their
would be so cool.
yeah, I don't know if their saxophone is touring with them, so we'll see. But yeah, love these guys.
Oh. All right. This just in.
So
At
good.
least somebody else is getting creative about it.
Yeah.
All right. My number 6 is the Muslims with "Fuck These Fucking Fascists."
I love it.
All right.
This is like a punk trio.
You don't
I'm
say.
guessing they are. I'm guessing they are Muslims. I mean, they're also queer. I mean, they're just all around awesome. And
Nice.
I really liked their last album, which they put out last year, called Gentrified Chicken. But I discovered it a bit too late. But like they have like this one song on it called Punch a Nazi, which I really fucking loved. And then they came out like with the single, like which is the title track, "Fuck These Fucking Fascists." And I was like, okay, it's kind of like the same vibe that they're going. But they also got signed to Epitaph this year.
Wow.
Oh,
And this is like the album that they put out, which I find was like very ballsy because, you know, like Epitaph is like pretty big. And like they're just like, you know what? We're going to put 2 fucks in our album title. And I also want to read the title of the last track off this album. It's called "John McCain's Ghost Sneaks into the White House and Teabags the President."
Fuck yes.
and you're telling me this is some sort of punk rock band?
Doesn't
But
sound like
it's a
any
very
punk rock
fun
out there
punk rock
before.
band. Yeah. But yeah,
That sounds fun.
they're very fun, and I think they're the new face of punk to come. And I'm glad that Epitaph is noticing punk bands like this, because they signed a lot of like cool bands this year. They signed Soul Glow, and they signed
Tight.
what's that band that did Racist Sexist Boy? Like they're all like 16-year-old girls that Linda
God damn it.
Lindas.
Yes.
The Linda Lindas, like they went viral, and then Epitaph is like, record deal, here you go. So
Chris
yeah,
Rappin just swinging for the fucking fences here.
yeah, exactly.
Just give me the internet.
All right, and that's it for me.
Oh,
Hey, that looked okay.
that was good.
My number 6 is a Saskatoon band called Me the Guts. Yeah, it's their album Spilt Guts Over Rough Cuts. It's a really, really, really good melodic hardcore album. A friend of mine named Derek plays everything on it. He's too talented for his own good, and it's kind of a bummer. I was lucky enough to sing on one of the songs, and I was lucky enough to persuade him to sing on a Swayze song a couple years ago. So he's just a swell guy, and on top of that, he makes really terrific and catchy melodic hardcore.
Amazing.
I didn't know we could put our own songs on here.
I sing a bit of a song. It's a full album.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That's shameless self-promotion, but it's all good. I love it.
And I gotta feed my ego, baby.
Yeah, I've listened to this record too. It's pretty good.
Nice.
I now need
Yeah.
to listen to this record.
Yeah, now you know it's a real album. I'm not just making it up.
I would assume it is a certain level of stank nasty.
It's got some pretty stank on it.
All right, baby. Give it to me.
Doing the Kill Bill thing.
Sorry. So, where are we at? Number 6?
You're gonna tell us about some metalcore band, I think.
No. I'm going to tell you about a guy who sings in a metalcore band.
Oh my goodness gracious.
So this is a first for me. I have a dude that has 2 spots on my list, which is Foreshadowing, motherfucker. But Landon Tewers with Frontal Lobe Submission. He came out with this like really sweet little EP type thing earlier in the year. It's his solo stuff, so it's very all over the fucking place. And the two major singles on it, both Kill Me and Gave My All, are fucking awesome. They're not your stereotypical metalcore song per se, but they are a lot of where that metalcore kind of pop punky sounding end of the spectrum is sort of heading right now. And he's a fucking awesome singer. He's a great lyricist. I love the shit out of it. I eat up everything that this guy fucking makes. So yeah.
What band is he in?
You know, you can make fun of me all you fucking like. I don't give a shit. I'm here
I
for
will.
your hate.
What band is he in?
He's in a band called The Plot and You.
Ah, I see.
Way to ruin my next one. Thanks, Justin.
Well, fuck. You're getting
Just
too
skip
cryptic
your
with it. Scared me.
I know. Right here. Now I just gotta put that up.
Well, now you're gonna fuck
way.
that up.
Other way. Okay. Okay, officially halfway through. So number 5 for me is Spiritbox, Eternal Blue. I mean, this album is probably one of the best albums, period, of the year for most people. I haven't really been checking the charts, but it wouldn't surprise me if this was like getting
It's
there.
been doing very well.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous record. Her voice is probably my favorite female metal voice of now. She's just the last like female singer who's given me this many chills was Ann Wilson when I was a kid from Heart, and she's like way up there. Her voice is incredible, and she's gonna go places. Like Justin had a cool story about Courtney LaPlante behind the scenes before we went live. Justin, why don't you tell the story?
No. Yeah, I thought maybe I had the CD around here still, but I can't find it. Many years ago, when she was in a band called Unicron, she stayed in my parents' basement.
That's super cool.
This was shortly before she joined I Wrestled a Bear Once. So yeah, it's cool to see. I'm not gonna front like we're best friends, but it's cool to see someone you've known and hung out with before go to such a high level.
Right.
Like touring with Limp Bizkit. That's pretty.
Yeah, exactly.
Almost touring with Limp Bizkit.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that
right.
happens.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Quit spoiling everyone's number one.
But yeah, great record. Check it out. Canadian singer, and her voice is again gorgeous. Her technique is like perfect. And she seems pretty cool too, really laid back, and I'm trying to still get an interview with them, but we'll see what happens. And Chris.
Oh my.
Is that what I think
God.
it is?
Oh. Open wide.
All right. My number 5 is Harakiri for the Sky with I'm trying to pronounce this Mare or
Mare.
Mare.
Yeah, mayor.
Let's go with one of those.
Sounds like an anime. I love it.
I mean, yeah, I guess it's kind of like anime.
I've been
but,
watching so much anime lately, so it's just reminding me of that. Yeah.
Don't remind me.
But this is like a post black metal band. I really only started listening to them like this year. So I find like this album is a bit similar to what they've done in like previous albums, but I just overall love the sound that they're going for. It's what I wanted Deaf Heaven to sound like, but kept on getting disappointed by Deaf Heaven. So I just go to Harakiri for the Sky, and I am satisfied because, like you have like these like screams and blast beats, but it's also like ambient and like very melodic and sorrowful at the same time. So I really liked that sound. And when I first listened to it, I was just like, oh my God, where has this been all my life? And I also just like the piano work in this
Ooh.
album too. Like you don't really hear the pianos too much, except for like near the end of the song, like when it's like winding down and transitioning into the next track. But I feel like it really adds something to the record.
Nice.
That's
That
all I gotta
sounds
say.
awesome.
Yeah, that does sound really good.
Because like you, I have just sort of given up on Deaf Heaven.
You know
doing what I'd like them to do.
I do really like their album that was released this year.
Mm-hmm.
They really go
It's
for
not
that like post-punk kind of style a little bit, and I love it. I don't know, and I'm not a fan of theirs usually, but I was like, this is actually good. But I know that they keep changing their style.
Yeah,
they just try to So
yeah, new album wasn't bad. It just was not what I was looking for.
mm.
All right.
Boom.
Got it. My number 5 is The Armed, Ultra Pop. I'm not going to spend a ton of time because it might come up again. It's just really difficult to listen to hardcore pop, and it's terrific. It is truly what I think they think a pop album sounds like. I will say it's a close second, but I'm still a much bigger fan of their last album, Only Love. But a Bad Armed album is still a pretty incredible album.
I fucking dig that. Keep it forever. Keep it with me.
Good catch.
We gotta do a wave for one of these. We gotta try and pull off a perfect wave. We'll try to do that for our number 1. All right. My number 5 is kind of obvious. I gotta give it a little love to my man Hojo. Like the Torches, You Will Be the Death of Me. Howard Jones was always amazing, and then he had a minute where like he was kind of just phoning it in, and now he's doing Like the Torch, and it's the best fucking shit he's ever written. And the band he's working with is complimenting him in the best fucking way I've ever heard before. So was super stoked on this record. It absolutely slaps. And the live stream that they put on was also fucking awesome. It was one of the few live streams where I was like, fucking good for you, dude. You're not acting like you're performing in front of thousands of people. You're just playing songs. You got a little bit of production value, but you all sound fucking sick. And I'm super stoked for them to be coming on what will probably be my favorite tour of the year. They're coming with Killswitch, so we know we're gonna get someone to duet, and I'm just already wet. So that's it for me.
I didn't know you liked Killswitch Engage.
No, what?
Hold on, is this the album that he did with that like YouTube personality guy, like Jared Dines, I think?
So you're thinking of Scion.
Okay.
Which I mulled over, and I honestly thought about putting on here because it was also kind of sick, but nah. It's got a couple of good songs, but ultimately, if one of the two was going to make it on here, which I kind of decided it was only going to be one of the two, it was going to be Like the Torch. This was honestly his better effort, whereas Scion was supposed to be like a fun project for him to bang out with a fucking YouTube star called Jared Dines, who's apparently a douchebag, but whatever.
I'm sure he gets
off that. He
look.
Seems like a dweeb.
I'm pretty sure it's all just hearsay that he might be a douchebag, but nobody's actually met him. And if Howard Jones digs him, then there's a possibility he's a douchebag. Moving on, gonna ring the doorbell upstairs and see who answers.
We suck at this. We're supposed to be best friends, and we're not like intertwining this at all.
It's because we're so connected in everything else we do in life. We have to fail at literally one thing.
Why are we so awkward though? It's weird. Okay,
it's hilarious.
Number 4, we're getting there. Number 4, Sleep Token. This place will become your tomb. Now, it took me a while to get into this record. Believe it or not, like it wasn't one of those albums where you're like, oh my god, like the first listen you're like, this is so good. The first listen I was like, meh, it's boring, like I'm not into it. They're not getting, like they're getting too mellow and blah blah blah. But it took me, this album you have to listen to either going for a walk at night, by yourself, put your headphones on, or you're in bed, or like you have to be relaxed because it is a very like atmospheric kind of album. Definitely softer than their last one, but it grows on you, in my opinion. Like, I just think it's a beautiful, beautiful album. Lots of piano and ambient. He sings more than he screams on this one, but his voice is it's an acquired taste. You either love or hate it. I love his voice, but I'm not going to get too deep into this because we might see it again, just like Justin said. So yeah, but this is my number 4, and we will.
Yeah. I can definitely see why people wouldn't like his voice, because it is
the puzzle box.
Super warbly, but I like
it is
quite
very
a bit.
very like, he's got the gnarl, but he's got the like, it's weird. It's a very weird. His voice is completely on its own. Like, I can't compare it to anything.
Yeah.
So
when he sings, it kind of sounds like he's running up a flight of stairs.
What?
Picture that next time you listen to it. It'll make sense.
Don't do this to me.
oh my
That's
God.
not a bad thing. It's unique.
Or
Oh, whatever.
the guy in full costume performing. Yes, it's a bad thing.
Whatever, man.
That's hilarious.
All
Magic
right, let Chris take his puzzle box and.
puzzle
Oh
box.
no! She has such sights to show me.
Indeed.
Okay, my number 4 is
Good suffering.
Oh, I didn't know.
Carcass with torn arteries. If you didn't know Carcass, they're death metal legends from the UK,
I
and
released an album.
I really like their last album, which they put out in like 2013. So it's been a minute since they've like put out something new. Like, they put out an EP earlier this year, but Torn Arteries was really like the better release out of the two. And I mean, I've just listened to so many like Carcass imitators, like so many like death metal bands that try to be Carcass, but like this album just proves that like they are the goats. Like they invented this sound, and like they can like keep on like reinventing it if they wanted to.
Right.
And even if like they kind of like fall back on like singing about like gore and disease, like they did on like their like first album, which was Reek of Putrefaction, it still has like this like melodic like element to it, kind of like what they did with Heartwork. So it's pretty much like bringing all the like best of Carcass that like came about like maybe like 35 years ago, all into like one thing. And yeah, it's a beautiful record, and there's a lot of great hooks in it, and it's just something. It's another album that like I just like raged while like listening to it in a car, and it was just awesome.
Those are the best.
I'll have to listen to that. I listened to that EP they put out, but I haven't heard this one.
Yeah, I think the album is like more superior than the EP. The EP is okay, but like this album is it. All right, so I'm gonna pass this. Hey, convert it into a Jesus candle.
Jesus candle.
What's that?
David.
Jesus Christo.
I haven't.
My number 4, Chelsea Wolfe and Converge, Bloodmoon numero uno. It is a terrific, atmospheric, ambient, convergy, hardcore album, and it's great. It's got sort of the best of Chelsea Wolfe and the best aspects of Converge kind of mashed together. Having listened to Converge for a long time now, it's really interesting to hear Jacob sing, like for realsies. He'll do clean vocals sometimes on Converge songs, but never to the extent that they were on this album. And because it's Bloodmoon 1, I'm really hoping that 2 comes out sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Stephan Brodsky from Mutoid Man does a lot of the vocals on that album.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's.
I knew he was involved somehow, but
was very. That's why it's kind of like it was brought to my attention because I knew he was on the record, but I didn't realize to what degree until later on. He does a lot of the record too, but for some reason he's not like, they don't mention him. It's always just Converge and Chelsea Wolfe, but he does a lot of the writing. He does a lot of the singing. But yeah,
because I know they did like the Bloodmoon live thing for a couple of years.
Yeah,
and there were some guys from Neurosis in it as well. So it's cool. I hope the next one brings in even more like guest musicians.
Yeah, for sure.
I think I have to listen to it again because the first time I listened to it, like there were some songs I really liked, but there's like others that like just I couldn't really get into. Like there is like one track that sounds a lot like a Ghost song, which I mean I kind of like Ghost, like depending on the day, but I don't expect that to come from Converge. So I think I just need to like listen to it again.
I wonder which track you're speaking of, because there's one that reminds me of like old Alice in Chains as well.
I think it's Flower Moon. I think it's
that's
Flower
the one
Moon.
that reminds me of Alice in Chains.
Okay,
so that's interesting. Yeah, like Junkhead. It's kind of like similar to that vibe. So, but Ghost, like I didn't think of Ghost actually. That's a good comparison too. Yeah. But no, the whole album is very, very, very weird. Like every song sounds completely different. So, yeah, I would. Give it
it's a definite for me at least. It's a definite like start to finish one. There's maybe a song or two I would pick out just to listen to on its own, but I think it's more impactful. I think whole way through.
I agree.
Which isn't always easy to do.
Yeah. It's definitely a that record's definitely one that it's difficult to stop and restart. Like if you're gonna listen to it through, in my opinion. I was less stoked about it only because I like Converge for like a very specific thing, and I didn't get that very specific thing out of it. You know what I mean? So I felt like it was very. It was too slow for me to enjoy the Converge part of it, but still beautiful record. I got a lot of. Am I the only one that got a lot of Western vibes out of it? Like very spaghetti Western kind of sounding sort of shit. Oftentimes,
I don't hear much of that. I don't know.
Maybe like a dark psychedelic bit, but yeah.
I was gonna say maybe a bit. I don't know if it's anything I really grasped.
It's not like anybody cares about my opinion anyway. So
I really don't. Let's hear your opinion on your number 4 album.
Hey. My number 4 is a repeat. It's Rivers of Nihil with The Work. Yeah. I won my interview with the singer was probably the closest I've come to crying on camera all year. Actually, no, it's got a dead tie with like the interview I did right after that. But so that's Melissa Cross, and I'm a big bitch.
I guess I'm just chopped liver when you came on my show, you prick.
It wasn't the same as coming on your face. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
It's true.
Oh, God.
Hey, man, it's the last one for the year. I don't give a shit.
Any Hoosers.
Liz and I listened to this record for the first time together for the most part. I think I was installing an AC that you could probably see like behind her. Actually, no, it's winter. Never mind. I'm rambling. But we were like listening track after track, and it was every single track was like, come the fuck on. Seriously. And like you shouldn't legally be allowed to write shit that fucks you this hard without you having to like pay a deductible every time or something. I don't know. I was really, really blown away by what I think might be their heaviest track so far. And that is without fucking question, More. More is obscene. You should, again, I'm going to repeat myself. You should not be allowed to be this fucking heavy. Like, I should have to pay you for fucking my face like this. So, and I will pay them in terms of buying a lot of merch whenever they do come to town, because goddamn fucking great record.
I'm really, really, really so much. Record. Yeah, I only have vinyl, but I want to get t-shirts and stuff.
Yeah. No, you got to listen to Rivers of Nihil, man. If you're into heavy, you got to listen to Rivers of Nihil. Yeah. And then you also...
This is a very interesting record. It's very, very, like, also there's some tracks that are very, I guess, atmospheric, very Pink Floyd psychedelic, spacey. You know, they just explore so many different, like they're never afraid to go outside the box. That's why I
They
love this
definitely
band.
push their extremes harder than they ever have before on this record. Everything about this record is at its furthest point it could possibly be.
Yeah.
I've just been holding it up here this whole time. I'm losing feeling in my hand. There we go.
Okay.
She just drops it back down on me like that.
Next, number 3. Speaking of
Ooh,
atmospheric and metal and whatever, Cult of Luna, The Raging River, these guys are literally, I was so jealous when Chris interviewed Johannes because I was supposed to do that interview and I couldn't. And I gave it to Chris. I was like, you bastard.
You would have killed it though.
Oh, thank you.
Botched it, you bitch.
I'm obsessed with them. Like if you guys have a chance to ever see these guys live, do it. It's just amazing. And I think I've seen them now 4 times. My favorite was at Heavy Montreal because it was at night. It was just under the stars. It was so beautiful. But yes, this is a typical Cult of Luna record. Again, it's similar to, I think I was reading a review on the Converge album, and that album was compared to Cult of Luna, like the typical sound. So if you like the Converge album, you're gonna love Cult of Luna, period, because they always have the same. They never change, but they're just so good. And yeah, I think I'm the only one that put this record on. I don't know if you guys have.
I haven't heard it.
Listen to it.
I haven't had the time.
All their records are great, but this is a good one. And they usually make my top 10s for every time they release something because they just always release magic. So, and there's my cat in the background.
Hello.
There she is. Okay.
What a jump.
And next, what am I going to give?
Ooh, an 8 ball. All right. I'm gonna take that.
Really?
I don't know. I'm trying to be original because Jason doesn't know how to be original with me. So.
All right. My number 3 is Yautja with their album The Lurch. Liz, you saw the Yautja, right? Like when they opened up for Trap Them, I believe.
Yes, that's where I know them because I recognize that name. They were fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think this is like, I think it's either like their first album or like their first album that they've done in a long time. But this is overall just like a great grindcore noise rock album. And you know, this was like at the top of my list for like most of the year until like some other releases came along. But yeah, this was, I mean, I don't have a lot to say about it, but I mean, I just think it's just generally like an awesome grindcore album. So I'm going to pass it down to you.
We're getting there.
I am going to have to check that out because that sounds dope.
Yeah. Oh, you would love that.
My numero tres, Bong Mountain. The Battle of Bong Mountain, I think, is supposed to be the whole title, but it doesn't say that on Spotify, so whatever. It's just really good, really, like, I don't want to say shitty, but really good, shitty pop punk. Like basement punk. It's catchy as can be. This is their first album since, I want to say 2017, but I wouldn't quote myself on that. They have a song off that album called Why You So Short that made me cry in my car. They have a song on this album about the guy's cat that also made me cry in my car.
I love that.
So, I don't know. They just do it for me. Very fun, very sentimental, just good pop punk.
Amazing.
You do it for me, Justin.
Thanks, man.
The words that come out of your mouth make me live. All right, come on, give it to it, bro.
I threw it. It's across the room, baby.
All right. So my number 3 is another repeat because I give a shit about putting things in proper order. So my number 3, and this was tough to compete because, like I said, my top half is heavy, like my titties.
Hefty.
But sleep tokens. This place will become your tomb. I once again, this is another record that I listened to for the first time with Liz. We promised each other we were gonna fucking wait and bang this shit together, and I took less time to fall in love with this than she did, and because like we listened to it together, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is missing some stuff that I like kind of did want, but the things that it does have, fuck,
Yeah.
like, it really did it for me. Songs like Mine and Higher Water are fucking amazing.
Yeah. Those are
There are parts of this song. Here's the thing that I loved about Sleep Token when I first listened to Sleep Token. I first listened to Sleep Token and I got immediate goosebumps. Legitimate, actual fucking goosebumps. And every single time I listen to Sundowning, I get those same goosebumps. And when I listen to this record, like actually just on my own in my ears again, I got those goosebumps again. I got those moments of like, fuck, these guys are amazing, you know? Because they really just write really goddamn epic music. And also, as a baritone, I do feel a special tingle every time I hear another baritone that just fucking crushes it. So you guys don't like the excessive bravado? Fine, I don't care. I
like it.
All right. So much. No, he really crushes it, and what a fucking performer! If you ever actually get the opportunity to see a Sleep Token show, it's very culty, it's very weird because they are fucking weird guys.
So mad I missed them last time.
Yeah, well, you will see them again. I will make sure of it. I don't care if we got to fucking fly to London for it. But really fucking phenomenal record. Give it your time, especially if you're not into like really heavy shit. Give this record your time because it's another one of those like potentially gateway things for people that are into a little more psychedelic and kind of weird shit, but want to understand heavier. This record will do it for you. You know, this is a band that will eventually end up playing stadiums with 8-string guitars. I'm fucking certain of it, and that is kind of the intention with this record. You know, is to be a little more digestible, but also still.
They might become in like an Osheaga band. That's what we're thinking.
Fucking hope not. I don't think they'll ever actually become an Osheaga band, but I do think they'll definitely slowly climb their way to headlining some festivals. I think they have the potential to be a much more culty Ghost, you know?
That's true. That's a good idea. That's
without being quite as like sellout and fucking merch oriented and shit. You know what I mean? Like, but that's it for me.
I know this was the case for me with this album. I'm wondering, do you think you would have liked it as much if you didn't like the previous album?
Yes.
Because I really loved Sundowning, and this one I know I didn't like as much, but I feel like if I didn't like Sundowning so much, I wouldn't like this one at all.
No, you probably wouldn't.
You know, that's a possibility. That's genuinely a possibility.
It's a weird hypothetical. It's just,
yeah. That's a really good question. I think you and I should start a podcast just talking about that forever.
I want snacks.
Are those banana chips?
Yes. Are they the sour cream ones?
Sweet.
Which ones are they? The spicy
no,
ones?
Chili garlic.
Oh, those are so good.
Mm.
All
I
right.
don't care they're meeting on camera right now. No.
Number two.
Numero dos.
We've talked about this enough.
Hey,
There we go. Number 2.
Stephen Brodsky's in there.
Yeah, I put him in because I'm like, oh, you know, he needs to be included. I felt bad for not including him when I first talked about this album. So he's such a fucking talented musician. He needs all the credit ever. So
I'm surprised they didn't just call it something else.
Yeah.
It is kind of surprising, right? Because it really is its own band.
It's super groupy. So yeah.
It's like, it is all of Converge. So I guess numbers-wise, they've got it. But
but it's also 2/3 of Mutoid Man, and also all of Chelsea Wolfe, because her the person that she usually collaborates with is also there. I know I have his name here somewhere, but like the person Chelsea Wolfe usually records her music with is also there. So.
Isn't that Stephen Brodsky though?
No. It's hold on. It's on my tip of my tongue. Hold on.
We're
I bet
interrupting
it's
Liz right now. I'm
Jeff.
sure we're all going to get lit on fire
All right.
later.
Oh, it's fine.
It's relevant. It's relevant though. Hold on. It is Ben Chisholm. That's the
great.
person that usually collaborates with Chelsea Wolfe, and he was brought along
Okay.
too.
Yeah, he's a recent addition to Converge, isn't he?
Is
No,
it?
I don't know what I'm talking about. Just keep going.
Okay.
There is a guy
Liz,
named Ben in
Liz.
Converge.
Have we said all we had about this album?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. It's mine.
It's really, really good. Oh, good catch.
All right. Okay. My number 2. This is a pretty surprising one, but my number 2 is Danny Elfman with Big Mess. You might know Danny Elfman as the guy who invented the Simpsons theme song and wrote pretty much every single Tim Burton soundtrack. But this is like
I love him.
This is a double album that he put out. I think it's like maybe his first album that he's done since the Oingo Boingo days that isn't a movie score. But
Okay.
from what I understand, that he was just like in quarantine for like an entire year and was just like festering in this frustration over Trump. Like there's like a few references to like Trump on this album, and I've heard like a few interviews with him about this album, and he just like goes off on like about a rant about how much he hates Trump. So like he just like put out like this album that's like super angry. So I mean, it's heavy at times, which I found is very surprising. Like there's some like distorted guitar in there, but it's also like symphonic at times, but it's also like noisy and industrial. He did like one song with Trent Reznor as well.
Okay.
And I think, it's, I mean, I do feel like I'm listening to like Jack Skellington for a lot of the album, but I mean,
Not complaining.
Danny Elfman is Jack Skellington, and he is very raw. Like he drops like a ton of F-bombs, so it's not kid friendly at all. And I think he just like put out like a very good album that was like very, very reflective of like the kind of year that we've had, not just politically, but like, in terms of like what we were feeling on the inside as well.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, I gotta listen to that. I didn't know
Yeah,
he did
I
anything
love
this
Nihil.
year.
I didn't even know he released an album, so I'm excited about this. I'm going to listen to it.
Full disclosure, though, it is a double album, so I think there's like 18 tracks on it. So
That's okay.
Fucking dare he.
That's okay.
all right, and now this guy.
My numero 2 is a band called Nursing with an album called Self Care. First, a quick complaint. This is the hardest album to Google ever.
I'm gonna Google it right now.
It is.
Like, yeah. 2 incredibly commonly Googled terms. But it's a very cool, I think it's a 2-piece band from Boston. Kind of grindcore, kind of mathcore.
Okay.
Really black metal-y vocals. There's a lot of what I can only describe as snorting. That it's really gross, but it fits super well.
I like gross.
I don't know how I came across this. I think it was on Reddit, but that'd be my best guess. Again, it's hard to Google.
I'm Googling it right now, and all I'm getting is like these like university studies and shit.
Yeah, or like support for nurses. It's like, okay, probably important, but not what I'm after.
Okay,
it's just an incredibly brutal album, and I don't know. It's the only band I've heard snort in a while.
It's probably important, but it's not what I'm after.
Well, I'm not a nurse.
I
This
miss
is
that.
me, baby.
Oh, God.
Okay, I'm lost.
I'm going to drink it. That's how much I love it. We're doing the wave on the next one. Don't you fuck up on me.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
So my number 2 is kind of obvious.
Oh, no way, a metalcore band.
Yeah, you can.
What do you do?
You are gonna eat my ass by the end of tonight. Mark my fucking words, baby boy. Yeah, I heard this record like relatively early in the year, and I was immediately like, yeah, this is probably gonna be my favorite record of the year. And then it didn't end up happening like that for a good reason. But
Got pretty close.
Really, really, really fucking awesome, surprisingly diverse metalcore record as far as I'm concerned. Incredibly produced, really fucking gorgeous production on this record. And yeah, Landon Tewers is a god, and I would jerk him off any day of the week. I have no problem admitting
As
it.
most gods ask
I
you
was
to do.
expecting you to say that.
Most gods do ask hand jobs. I don't know if you've ever been to church. It's okay. It's okay. You're gonna go see mommy now. Okay? You're gonna go see mommy now. Just shh. It's okay. Be good to him.
Where did it go? Okay.
I love you so much.
And we are
Ascended.
finally at the number one. Dun, dun, dun,
Pew, pew,
dun.
pew.
I mean, oh no. It's not in order for me, so I don't care. But
Why weren't we doing that the whole time?
number one, Perturbator,
Of
Lustful
course.
Sacraments. Because, Perturbator hasn't released a record in forever, and he finally did this year, and I'm really, really, really happy about that. And it's an amazing album, much softer, more black metal-y, more doomy compared to his other stuff, but so good. I'm curious what the live show is going to be like for this record, because his shows are usually very. Have you guys had a chance to ever see a Perturbator show?
Nada.
Because
I
it's
think I've
basically like a
seen
metal. It's like a metal
Videos
show.
from when you went
I
to a
posted,
Perturbator
yeah.
show.
Lots of headbanging, lots of moshing. Like, it's basically a metal show, but with electronica, synthwave. And this album is much more typo negative-y, like darker and slower. So I'm curious how it's going to go. But it's literally, I've listened to this album a billion times, and I'm still listening to it. I think it came out in June, from what I remember. He started releasing one single a month for a while, and then he finally released the album, I think, in June. I have to double check, but just incredible. And I'm a huge synthwave nerd, so he's one of my top 5 synthwave artists, along with obviously John Carpenter. Yeah, give it a listen if you haven't already, because you guys might dig it if you're into like the black metal doomy stuff. So
That sounds interesting for sure.
Oh yeah, you would. I think you would like it, Justin. And my cat just threw up, but yeah.
All right, pass it here.
Liz's cat, not a fan.
No, she just threw up.
Oh, God.
And now she's coming back to me to cuddle. So
Of course.
I'm hungry again, mommy.
yeah, it's Reagan.
Oh God, you
Speaking of-
demonic creature.
It's just. I would pick her up and give her to you, Chris, but because I'm sick of
Okay.
this. But yeah.
And then throw up on you,
And there's no
stab you in the eye.
All right, my number one. It's already been mentioned, but
Oh,
it is the Armed Ultra Pop.
there we go.
I know, like Justin said a lot about this already, like that it's hard to listen to, but I actually love an album that's hard to listen to. I usually give my number one spot to probably the most experimental albums in the past years. And like this album is pretty divisive. I've talked to people who loved it, and I've talked to people who fucking hated it because
People
they were
got
big
weird
fans.
about it.
They were like, I don't know, like I'm kind of new to the Armed, and there's like people who have been following the Armed for quite a while. The Armed is like still kind of like a mystery, so I'm still kind of like wrap my head around them. But there's like some people who have figured out the Armed, but they just don't like this record. But honestly, like it's like somebody described it to me as shred gaze, where it's like it sounds like shoegaze, except you have like 5 guys
it.
like shredding on guitar on like
Whoa.
over the thing. It's like a
That
pop
upsets
album.
me.
Except it's everything turned up to 11, and it's just like this like big audio experience. And also, I'm a sucker for an album that has like an aesthetic to it as well. So I saw this like in the music videos. and the virtual concert, which is like one of my favorite virtual concerts that came up this year because
Was it their
that's a thing
Adult
now.
Swim one?
I haven't actually seen their Adult Swim one. It's their
Okay.
other one called Ultra Pop Live at Marsonic.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or
I haven't
Masonic,
watched that
Marsonic.
one, but I watched the Adult Swim one. It was pretty cool too.
Okay, I'll watch the Adult Swim one, but yeah, the other one. I mean, I paid $11 for it, and I would easily pay $11 to see it again
Nice.
because I think it's just incredible what they do with it, and it made me understand the album a bit more. But like honestly, it's hard to listen to, but the more you listen to it, like the more you notice everything, and like it's infectious. Because like the first time I listened to it, I was like, "The fuck is this? I can't hear anything. It just sounds like."
Yeah, it's definitely just a wall of everything hitting you at once.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, that album is terrific.
Anyway, we'll talk about that no longer. What can I pass you? I'm going to pass you this Drinky Bird right here.
Pretty close.
That's actually just a statuette of Justin.
That's
I love
true.
it.
My number one is a metalcore album. Every Time I Die, Radical.
Probably the last Every Time I Die rap.
What's that?
Yeah.
Probably the last album from Every Time I Die.
Hey, let's shut up, maybe. I'm not trying to think
They'll
about that
figure
right
it
now.
out. They'll go to fucking couples counseling or some shit.
Yeah, look at the guy who did the Metallica documentary. I don't know. What is there to say? Every time that Every Time I Die puts out a new album, it's their best album. And this is no exception. It's just so fucking heavy. And I love it.
It is.
And yeah. It's the one time, at least so far, that they haven't put out a bunch of bonus tracks. So that's pretty cool.
No.
They just put out the album the way it should have been. So they get big points from me on that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I
just
just
long record track wise for them though.
that's the thing is like it's like they finally just gave up on putting out a deluxe edition and just said this is everything we want to be on the album.
Without
Here.
like I feel like this was their album where they just looked at each other and said no notes. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And just
Nor did they really need any, I think.
No.
I will say I didn't really like the singles as they came out, but in the context of the whole album, it's just a fucking banger.
That happened to me for an album last year. That happened to me for Bury Tomorrow's record. I had the same problem with the first two singles on this record. I didn't end up putting this on my list.
Cat Attack, baby.
Yeah.
She's so weird. Oh my god. Okay, right.
Mommy.
There we go.
Run
Sorry.
away. That cat is
Go long, Sonny.
Oh, no.
She has problems. She's chewing on the litter bag
Oh,
in the bag
shit.
right now.
My bad. All right.
Yeah, of course she does.
Oh, I
We
went
didn't do it away.
backwards.
We fucked it up. It's gone forever. We will never be able to recreate this moment.
Shit. I can't
I
believe
fucked it up. I'm breaking up with you.
I can't believe that this didn't work.
This thing that we didn't rehearse.
Yeah.
You know, this was easily the idea of doing the Brady Bunch thing is easily the best idea that Liz has come up with all year. I've had so much fun. with it.
Wow.
You're giving her a lot of credit there.
Jeez.
No, Liz knocked this one out of the park. But yeah, I before I announce mine, yeah, I mulled over Radical a lot, and unfortunately, it came that record basically became like 3 or 4 songs for me because as much as I enjoy, oh shit,
Gonna go backwards now.
throw up. Yeah, I loved like a couple of songs on that record, and then the rest of it, I was like, I could do without it, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely a bit of a masterpiece for them. I hope they figure their
It's a major highlight of the year for sure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, ultimately, don't be a bitch about the fact that a member of your band doesn't want to be an asshole all the time, while still successfully being an asshole all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. My number one is I would hope it's super obvious, but whatever. Somebody
it's
had to steal
obvious.
like all my best records.
It's obvious now. It's on the screen right there.
Yeah. Spiritbox, Eternal Blue. I was super stoked about this record all year. I didn't do my research enough, but every time they dropped a single, I was like, yeah, this is fucking fantastic. I couldn't enjoy the song more if it fucked me in the ass. Like I just fucking love everything. And then when the record came out and Liz was gracious enough to give me the pre-release, I got to listen to everything as it was intended in its entirety, and I was just like, fuck. I'm sorry plotting you, but it's just fuck. You know, there was like a good 2-month period where every record I was getting was going to be my number one, and it just kept getting pushed back. And it's honestly in order. It was Rivers of Nile, then it was Sleep Token, then it was Plotting You, and then it was fucking Spiritbox. I was like, well, fuck, you know. Spiritbox reminds you that you shouldn't discriminate about any kind of diversity in a band. For example, like I genuinely feel like Courtney LaPlante is crushing everyone in metal right now. And I think a lot of people are going to recognize that really quickly. She's crushing you in songwriting. She's crushing you in vocal patterns. She's crushing you in technique. She's crushing you in live performance. She's crushing you in the ability to do every song fucking live without fucking around. Like, the conversation of, you know, and I hope I'm not speaking out of turn by saying this because I'm a fucking dude, but the conversation of women being discriminated in metal needs to start going out of the fucking window, because she just fucked everybody up badly.
Yeah.
Like, unrecognizably fucked everybody up.
We're getting to a better place slowly
we are,
as women
you
in,
know,
in
very
music.
slowly.
So
because
slowly.
women are just fucking us up. Like, and I'm glad. Fuck yes. You know,
But it's, yeah, she's incredible.
Beast.
I don't have an amazing story of her like sleeping in my parents' basement because we didn't have a basement.
Oh, I also I did a beer bong with the guitar player once.
Also known
I
as
forgot about that.
But I do remember when she started in, and I have to hug the cactus hard here. I do remember when she started in I Wrestled a Bear once, thinking like, she's not as good as Krista. And then now hearing this, realizing this is the same person, I'm like, wow, holy fuck, I'm eating my words. Like,
I think for me, what did it was just when she joined I Wrestled a Bear once was kind of when I stopped caring about that band.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with her abilities. It was just like, okay, I get it.
Yeah,
I get what you're
songs weren't
doing.
doing it anymore.
It's fine.
And then they started making actual metal songs in this.
Yeah.
And going back to these old records that I didn't know existed, and it's like, holy fuck, you guys, like, you were just banging out the best in metal that we have right now for years now, and just Eternal Blue is just another display of that. So I fucking love it. I'm still banging it as often as I can. I'm not even remotely bored of it. I take little breaks here and there. I go back and I'm like, yeah, no, this is still best.
Yeah, I can listen to that album over and over and over, like in a row. And I just always find something new and interesting, and it's just so good.
And what I also
between the guitarist, sorry,
no, go ahead.
Oh, between the guitarist being in Fallen Archaea for so many years and the bass player being in Textbook Tragedy.
Oh,
and
I didn't know
of
that
course all the bands we've talked about Courtney being in already. It's like, yeah, it was bound to happen.
Yeah.
It's like you've all been doing. Yeah, it's all been simmering for years.
It's that perfect storm. And what I also love is that Courtney is the hottest fucking commodity in terms of guest vocaling right now. Like, anybody that can grab her.
I noticed that. She's appeared
every time they grab her. It's a fucking banger. It's like the best tune that band's written in a while. So I'm super stoked to see what comes of this. I feel like she's not even remotely done. Please just keep ruining everything for everybody, which is a throw to I Wrestled a Bear once. So yeah, that's it. That's it, everybody. Go home. Good night. Hung on to whoever the hell for an hour and a half.
Yeah, thanks guys for watching.
Fucking troopers.
Whew, not much participation, but that's okay.
That's what it is.
Okay.
Everybody's got a lot of new albums to look at now.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I've got about 30 to look up.
Same.
He means he's not listening to any of mine.
I don't think I've listened to a single Spiritbox song, so I think
Oh, check
now
it
is
out.
the
Oh,
time
now's
to
the time.
start.
Check it out, Chris. Just because, like, it might not be your you might not be that into it, but it's still worth it. It's still worth checking out.
It's not.
It's definitely very polished, which is the only knock I could see a lot of people giving it.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's why it's hasn't hit me as hard as a lot of people, and I think part of it is just it's really slick.
It
And
is
that's for some people, and it's not for everybody, but
for sure.
it's just still really well written songs.
I just
Anybody watching, do you guys want to share some of your favorites that have come out in 2021? Let's see if we get some comments here going, because
Was there any that you guys? Was there anybody that just didn't make your lists? Any last minute cuts?
Justin with the save. I've got one. I don't know about everybody else. I don't want to be the impatient one here.
I got a
Go
few.
for it.
All right,
for it.
I'll be the first one then. I've got
I gotta
two
find my
honorable-
notes.
I've got two honorable mentions. I've got Trove, which is the former singer of Vanna, started a new band with some awesome dudes. And
I know him from Bucketlist Entertainment interview fame.
Yes, that was a fun interview. They released their record on Christmas Day of last year, so I couldn't put it on this one. And thanks, Landon, with your rules and shit. Next thing you know, you're going to tell me to do something smart like get vaccinated.
Wash my hands.
I had to go there. And easily the most disappointing one that I fucking would have put easily in my top 3 was the most emo thing I think I've heard in 15 years, and that was Hot Mulligan's record, You'll Be Fine. Holy fuck. Just shit.
Yeah, I love that album.
Yeah.
I had one that I was... Here's the trick, is my top album last year was Jeff Rosenstock's No Dream. And this year he put out Ska Dream, which is just a ska reimagining of the entire album. I'm like, this is fucking as good as it was, but I didn't want to have him as number 1 2 years for essentially the same album.
Yeah.
And then there was an EP by a band called Home Is Where. Not Home Is Where the Heart Is, because that would be silly, but it's called I Became Birds, and it's just a really good, just kind of emo, kind of indie EP, I should say.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I was trying to keep it to albums.
Amel and the Sniffers. Yeah, we're gonna go
I keep hearing
see
about that
them
one.
in the new year.
I think
Oh, yeah.
I don't know that one. What's that band
It's
about?
fun to sing along to. It's an Australian punk band. And
Okay.
We're kind of like garage punk band, but yeah, very fun to sing along to. Very catchy songs, and yeah, you'll love. I think I reviewed one of their shows for Bucketlist.
Okay.
You did.
Sick.
That's where I recognize them.
One of my honorable mentions is King Woman Celestial Blues. This was something that was originally at my number 10, and then I kicked off my list at the last minute just because I realized I really like one song off of it, and the other songs weren't that great. But if you can, go listen to Morning Star by King Woman, because first of all, it's about Satan, but also it's also a great song. But also every year I make 3 different top 10 lists, one for Montreal albums, one for Canadian albums, and one for international albums. So you saw my international albums one, but I still have 2 lists in my bag that I'm gonna release soon. I just dropped my Montreal albums today on Sewer Spewer, so my top one for that was was
I saw that on
backwash.
Instagram.
I lie here buried with my rings and my dresses. That's a
That rolls right off the tongue.
I know, right? Like, did I say it right? But yeah, like metal trap is the best way I could describe it as.
I just watched too much porn to be able to make 2 other 10 fucking bands and albums and fucking no.
It's got to be a nerd like me.
Good for you, buddy. No Nut for November works all year round for you. I'm impressed.
It's called discipline.
Lizard, you got any honorable mentions?
No, I'm very distracted right now, so I don't
By the
have
cat puke.
any.
Her
Yeah,
cat
but
is-
also she's acting so weird. She's like in the hunt position, like we know when they're like on all fours and they're like this, and she sees something in my kitchen and it's freaking me out. So
Well, she's hungry. She puked all her
Okay,
food
let's call it then.
out. Let's go find what the cat's hunting.
oh god,
this is the part where I get a phone call to come over, isn't it?
no, it's
It might be,
fine.
though.
But there's something there though. She was in that. There's something there, and I have to like do a search now because
I'll come by
Okay.
tomorrow night. We'll search the fucking appliances again.
no, it's fine because she's in a weird. She literally like crawled across the kitchen floor and she was like this, and then she's like
Oh, she
sitting
just
next
possessed.
to me like that.
It's probably just a ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so much
And that's where I'm going to get a phone call being like, I need a young priest and an old priest.
yes. I hope
Well,
it's
this
good.
was good shit.
Yeah, this was
Uh,
fun.
This was a great
Yes, it
time,
is.
guys.
Thanks for
Yeah.
having us.
Thanks for joining.
Until next
Do
year.
it again sometime.
Yes.
Peace. Go listen to good music.
Yes.
Don't listen to anything I listen to. I hate me.
I'm gonna
Thanks
go
for
listen to
watching.
Spiritbox.
This was a long one. So thanks guys for sticking around and watching and comments. Welcome. Even after the live, I'm gonna post this on YouTube probably tomorrow, and with all of our lists, so you can check it out and have a good night.
Bye.
Keep on rocking in the free world.